Hello, people of this planet. Welcome back. My name's Austin. If you're new to the channel, this is Austin Aerial Automotive. And today I have this beautiful, beautiful 2021 Chevrolet Corvette. This is a Mac Daddy sports car of its time. Chevrolet outdid themselves completely, changed everything, most importantly the engine location, and they made this thing look absolutely exotic, and it has the performance to match. One thing that doesn't match is the price tag. This thing is such a performance bargain because this exact one, in the way that it's built, is only $94,000. And I will say only because based on this performance specs, you'd also be charged 3 times that amount for a European exotic. So let's go through this car today and let's see what this is all about. Big thank you to Steve Raymond Chevrolet. They're the ones that actually let me use this Corvette. It is for sale technically. If you want to inquire about it, I'll give the link in the description below. But again, thank you again to Steve Raymond Chevrolet here in Smyrna, Georgia. Huge thank you to DJ. Couldn't have done it without you, man. I really appreciate it. Love this thing. Really quick, if you are new to this channel, definitely subscribe. I have a ton of content for you guys. Everything from exotics to economy cars and everything in between. I've got it down for you guys. Definitely hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell in the upper right hand corner. That way you get alerts every time I release a video. I've got a lot of things in store for you guys. So go ahead, subscribe. Now back to the video. So let's start off with the front end of this Corvette. Okay, first thing you want to make note is the front end is a lot shorter on this model. Why? Because this car is now mid-engined. Okay, because of that, the front end doesn't have the engine. Because of that, also the front does have the frunk or the front trunk. Now up front here, because this one does have the Z51 performance package, you do have an upgraded cooling system for the engine that you can actually see through here because you got the heat exchangers and the inlet for the actual air intakes there. Up front here, these are actually going to be painted pieces here. They are gloss black with a lot of metallic flake, and it looks really nice. This color, which is called torch red, looks absolutely insane. It's almost got a scarlet orange undertone to it when the sun hits it. Up here, you've got these imposing headlights. They are going to be full LED. You got your LED running lights. Of course, you got your LED headlight unit. It is a black housing, so it just breaks up the front end really well. Down here, you do have this plastic textured piece. At the end of the day, this is Chevrolet. This is an economy brand, so there are some economy roots with this car, and you do see that here. But at the same time, it is nice to know they actually put a more durable material at the bottom here, because this is actually a piece that's most likely to get scraped or rock chips and dings. So I'm actually not against that at all. In the front there, you do have the front camera that's really integrated well into the black area there. It is a painted piece just like these, same metallic flake. And then of course you got the Chevy emblem that's embossed on the front. It is actually a metal piece. It's not just painted on. So good attention to detail. Now, because this thing has 2 trunks, the front trunk and the rear trunk, I'm gonna have to take you through both. So why don't I do that? Underneath the front trunk or the frunk, it's very decent in size for an exotic. You can definitely put a few grocery bags in there, maybe a few school bags or anything like that. So if you give your Corvette to your 16-year-old son, which I don't advise, then they can put more than enough stuff here. Outside of that, you do have little baggies on the side, and then outside of that, you do have filler caps for the washer fluid, amongst other things. So, and then you can see it's grazed by plastic on the sides here. So nothing too crazy. So let's talk about the wheel set here. This is a painted wheel. You do have that machine finish on the outside, so it gives it a good textured look here. This is a Z51 package, so you do have the upgraded brakes on this model as well. These are going to be 19s in the front. You do have 20-inch wheels in the back. These are going to be 245s in the front. The rears have 305 for the tires. So you have a meaty tire on these things, wrapped for the first time, I'm being told from DJ, wrapped in Michelins. Okay, this has always been a big problem because Corvettes have always been fast, and a lot of Chevy products have been fast, but they've been limited by tire. This tire, the Pilot Sport 4S, an incredibly grippy tire. Very glad to see that they put it on this car. So very nice looking wheel set, especially on this torch red. Z51 brake calipers being almost identical in color to the torch red looks amazing. Well done. Now going over to the side of the Corvette, right? So like I said, this is actually a mid-engine car. So in saying that, you do have these inlets here for air for the engine. Not only that, it is a stylistic piece. It is painted that black color, same as the front pieces. But in addition to that, the door handle's also underneath here. You can reach underneath, you find the rubber material, you press, and you can open the door. Super easy, super nifty, and the fact that they hide it underneath there means that you don't have to break up these clean lines of the side of this car. Fantastic. A lot of exotics do this. Chevy has done this with the Corvette for quite a while, but this one, they've definitely integrated it into the design of the car, and that is something that I really like. That's good attention to detail, but it's also a good way to evolve the Corvette lineup with something small such as their door handle. Now, getting to the back of the Corvette, this is probably one of the craziest areas of the car. You have this giant spoiler thanks to the Z51 package. You do have these exit, I don't want to call them inlets, but you have these open areas here for air to come out of for obvious reasons, not only to dissipate heat, but for aerodynamic purposes as well. Integrated right down there is going to be one of the parking sensors. This car has a few of them. The exhaust, they are kind of square in shape, but it is a true quad exhaust here. You do have this aggressive valence at the bottom here, painted gloss black, and this mesh is actually hollow. It's not a complete plastic piece. Corvette embossed all the way across in black letters, looks super cool, and that third brake light, which is in a black housing, looks really cool as well. Now, backup cameras integrated nicely, and then in addition to that, you are going to notice that there's a little bit of some plasticky area here that also houses the license plate lights. And then back here you do have LED brake lights, and you do have turn signals that are LED and sequential as well. So that's also another good piece of attention to detail. One thing I do want to point out is the fact that the spoiler is actually contrast color. It is black, which looks really cool. I feel like if it was matching to the car's paint, I don't think I'd like it as much, because contrast on a sports car like this just looks incredible. So good job, Chevy. When you look on the back here, you can notice you have these vents to release heat from the engine. You've got the Stingray badge there, and like I said, this is a convertible, so that's also where the convertible top is housed, which is really cool. Let's see what's going on inside the actual rear trunk. It's obviously a little bit bigger, and it's very deep, something that Corvettes have always been known for. You can see you can put probably 1 or 2 sets of golf clubs in here, which is actually pretty spacious for an exotic. So I'm glad to see that Chevy's still implementing a lot of space inside an exotic car to make it daily drivable and livable. Cool thing about this trunk is if you actually push it, it soft closes. How cool is that? Into the Corvette, we're gonna have to take a look at this interior, because refinement is the key with this model. So let's start off with the door card, okay? Carbon fiber surrounds the window switches, which are also really nice soft touch plastic. You do have buttons for the wind deflector, the windows, the mirrors. You've got the release for the door. That is what that silver button is. Lock and unlock. And then you got the front switches there and the trunk switch. Memory seats, and look at the speaker grill, just absolutely cool that it's a machined metal finish. Bose audio, of course. Then Napa leather also goes into the door card with that contrast red stitching. Looks super cool. You got Stingray embossed there on the door sill plate. And look at the seats. Beautiful seats finished in Napa leather. Corvette emblem embossed. You've got the red stitching. Carbon fiber seat back, which is beautiful. Red seat belts just sets it off. And then look at the switches for the seat. They're actually finished in both the soft touch plastic and that metal finish. Really good attention to detail. Sport pedals. And then you can see here the steering wheel, which is sort of a squared off performance shape. And then you can see carbon fiber just engrazes the dash, which looks fantastic. Now, another thing is, right up here, this is all Alcantara. Same thing with the back. You can see it's Alcantara. You can even see that it goes into the front area where the convertible top latches in, which is absolutely beautiful. Sitting in the Corvette, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on here. Sounds amazing. You got the digital dash there. Chevy's updated infotainment system. Turn that down. Touch screen, of course. I'm gonna hit continue. It is an 8-inch touchscreen. Like I said, you got buttons to control the transmission. You got your drive modes here, and then you got your Z mode right here, which is going to be related to the drive modes as well. You do have your heated steering wheel, Bluetooth buttons, your track for infotainment settings there. Look how big these paddle shifters are, and they are actually metal, they're not plastic, so they definitely up the ante there. Really, really nice, a really good feel. You can press them and it just feels really nice. Over here on the side, you're going to notice everything here is driver focused. Everything. You can see you got your heated, cooled seats. You can sync the dual zone climate controls. Automatic function for the climate controls, fan speed, power, defrosters, and then the passenger controls as well, which is really cool. You press that and you can see that the display is actually on top here. It's kind of facing upwards, so it is a little difficult to see when you're in the driver's seat. So I will say that is a little bit uncanny. They could have at least made a way to angle it more towards your viewing position. That's all I'll say on that. Another thing, you got a huge speaker that grazes that windshield, and then you do have red stitching that outlines the airbag, and of course the dash itself, which you can see the vents that are really well integrated. You can see on the passenger side that carbon fiber is well integrated into the surrounds of the buttons, and you can see the speaker grill, and look at that, you've got memory seats for the passenger side as well. Absolutely insane. Just absolutely beautiful. I truly think this is just a beautiful car. If you guys are wondering what this button is, that's actually the front lift system for this car. This does have the Magnaride suspension, but you do have a lift system in the front, so if you are going over steep driveway or anything like that, you don't scratch the front end of the car. So that's also really nice attention to detail there. Now, when the top is up, you notice this turns into that digital mirror that Chevy is actually becoming more well known for. So you can flip it to manual, and then boom, now it's an automatic auto dimming mirror with digital display. Absolutely cool. And speaking of the top, if you want to let it down, there's just a button right over here. You just press and hold down and it'll actually bring the top down. Press and hold it up and it'll actually keep the top up, and then this will actually just bring down the wind deflector or that rear window. And then this is going to fold in the mirrors, and then mirror controls, of course, on the side there. Super, super cool. If you guys want to get a feel for the cockpit, this is what you're looking at. This is what you're looking at. You do have a heads-up display. Pretty much every Corvette since the late 90s has had this. This one is a little bit more updated, so it literally tells you everything. Gas, fuel economy, speed, navigation directions, everything. Really, really cool. I want to make note, their wireless charger for your phone is actually in the middle here, so just set it in there and let it charge. It's actually right underneath this cool little speaker location. Looks really neat, but look at that, a little wireless charger action. Super, super cool. I want to show you guys is with the key fob, you can actually open the convertible top. So in saying that, I want to show you, because when you actually do this, it's really, really neat. Because the gears that you can see when the top is exposed, look at that. That is super cool. Absolutely wild. Like, look at that. Really, really neat. It doesn't take long at all for this car to actually get the top all the way down either. Super cool. I really can't believe I'm saying this, but we are now taking a drive in the Corvette C8 Z51. Like, I physically can't fathom this. I really can't. Because these cars are so impossible to find unsold. Extremely impossible to find unsold. I'm actually gonna take this off really quick. I can put that on. So this is the C8. This is the most anticipated Corvette probably of all time. Okay, you have an updated Lt V8 from Chevrolet. This is the Lt2 engine. It is based off of the old Lt1 that was in the previous Corvette. But this one has a little bit more power, and you combine that with the dual clutch, and it's insane. So power with the performance exhaust is 495 horsepower, 470 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60, 2.8 seconds. 2.8 seconds. That's insane. That's literally Ferrari time. That's McLaren, Porsche, all those cars. This matches that. Absolutely insane. Not only that, this only comes with a dual clutch automatic. They dropped the manual transmission for this generation. A lot of purists are going to be angry with that, but I think that is wholeheartedly the best thing they could have done. I truly do believe that, because every car company has pretty much dropped the manual transmission. Porsche keeps them for some of the purists, but most of their cars are dual clutches as well. BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Ferrari, McLaren, they all have dual clutches or automatics in some form. Chevrolet followed suit, and boy, does not disappoint. This transmission is absolutely insane. This car is so smooth. The suspension is very, very firm, as you would expect in a car like this. Road noise is actually very loud in this thing too, I will admit, and it's probably in part because of the tire combination. Because again, this thing just has straight up street tires, almost racing tires realistically. I'm baffled. I am gonna say this, the steering in this car is actually lighter than in that Camaro ZL1, and that actually surprises me because I figured it would be just as heavy. I really did think it was gonna be just as heavy. Now, one thing I wanna talk about is the fact that this car, as much as it is prepped for a racetrack, it is livable with everyday driving. And the reason why I say that is because it has all the safety tech you need. Blind spot detection, lane departure warning, and things like that. Like, it has all the safety tech. In addition to that, it's got front and rear cameras. So, I mean, it's a safe car. It really is. And visibility is not that bad. Excuse me. With the side view mirrors, you can see a lot. You can see a lot with the rear view digital camera. I am happy they did that with a digital camera. That helps out a lot. And front visibility is honestly not that bad. Even though the ride is stiff and slightly harsh, The seats are actually pretty comfortable, even though they're extremely tight. Extremely tight. I want to actually bring down the temperature in here a little bit. This transmission is insane. And you got different drive modes. Holy cow. It tells you the oil pressure, the oil temperature, and it tells you the water temperature as well. Oh, wow. I can definitely feel a difference, especially, ooh, that exhaust. Holy cow, it just popped. The exhaust just popped. The exhaust just popped. Holy cow. The accelerator stiffened up, which I didn't expect. Holy cow. Oh my god, the exhaust note. It's so much louder now. What in the world? I don't know what. Holy cow. The exhaust. It's so nice. Holy cow, the exhaust is so nice in this thing. It definitely sounds more exotic of a V8 than the standard like LS burble, burble, burble. Holy cow, this thing is sweet. Oh my gosh. Dang, this thing really does just eat up bumps quite well. I'm not even gonna lie. I can definitely tell one thing. These brakes have to be warmed up. These brakes definitely have to be warmed up because cold, they don't have that much grip. So if you get one of these, warm up the brakes. Okay, definitely warm up the brakes. I'm actually gonna put the cooled seat on. It's so cool that a car like this has all these luxuries and still goes to 60 miles an hour in less than 3 seconds, and this thing tops out at like 200 miles an hour for $94,000. Absolutely mind-boggling. It really does blow my mind. Steering feels amazing. It's incredibly precise. The paddle shifters feel amazing. The transmission is so instantaneous. I mean, it's a Tremec transmission if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Comment if I'm wrong on that, just because I'm blanking right now. But the transmission feels amazing. Holy cow. Oh, then you throw this thing in Z mode. Holy cow. Holy cow, man. This thing pulls, but it's so linear in the way that it does. I mean, what the hell, Chevrolet? This thing is literally so smooth, and I think part of that is because this engine is naturally aspirated. There is no turbos or anything like that. Oh my gosh. Wow, Chevrolet. Holy cow. This is awesome. I am actually impressed with how smooth the driving is in this thing. Turning radius, impeccable. Holy cow. Wow. I will say, with the shorter front end, it's very easy to drive. You don't have to like guess if you're gonna like hit the curb or anything like that. You always know where it's gonna be. And that's something that not a lot of cars give you that confidence, right? It's rare to see a car give you that confidence. Oh, that engine note. Holy cow. That engine note is just insane. Oh my gosh, talk about adrenaline. Oh my, God bless America. This thing is insane. And it's so tame, which is the scary part, because when you're going low speeds, it's like, okay, easy to live with. And then you just mash on the pedal just ever so slightly and bam, in your face. Holy cow, dude. Holy cow. What? Oh my goodness, this is a different level of performance. That Z01 scares you. This makes you want to crap yourself. Oh my gosh. Wow. This really does set you back, because you know it's going to be fast until you see how fast. What the hell, man? This thing is awesome. Oh my goodness. Absolutely incredible. The engine note just sounds amazing. You get that crackle and pop every time you get on it. It's very tame. I can tell there's a lot of computer management helping with traction and things like that. And that, as most people would think, is a bad thing. I think in this car it is much needed. Because even though this thing only has 495 horsepower, the way that they put the power down is insane. Pure insanity. I truly think the power delivery in this car is what makes this car. Lord knows what this thing would do on a track. And I know, and the crazy part is, this is the standard Corvette. This is not the Z06. This is not a future ZR1 or anything like that. This is the standard Corvette. What in the world? Absolutely bonkers. Wow. And the fact that the engine's right behind you just helps, so you can hear that exhaust too, or that engine note rather. Oh man, really cool. And just as a little side note, this thing also is rated at 27 miles a gallon on the interstate. Let that be known, which is a fantastic figure. A fantastic figure for this car. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. I love this thing. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, everybody knows I'm not the biggest Chevy fan in general, and I've never really been a Corvette fan just because they've never done much for me. Like, yes, I can appreciate the performance aspect, but as far as looks and things like that, like, they never excited me. This one, the C8, I've been very back and forth about, but I finally have my 3 things that I would change. One would be the wheel poke. This car obviously has a very, very fat tire on it, but I just feel like the wheels shouldn't be a little more inward than the fender. I feel like it should be either matching the fender or outside of the fender, and it's not. That's just my personal preference, okay? Second, this car has to have a spoiler. This one has a spoiler, which I love, but I'm saying without a spoiler, I think the car just does not look as good. I think I'm probably the only person who thinks that way. C'est la vie. And then one super small thing, and I can guarantee I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this, the exhaust. The shape of the exhaust, I feel like should have just been circular, not squared off. I don't know why they did that. I personally just don't like it. A lot of people do, but that's just my personal opinion. Those are the 3 things really I only complain about with a Corvette. I love the steering wheel shape. I love the interior layout, the amenities, safety technology. The design overall is very, very handsome. And because they moved the area where the engine is, you got so much more performance out of this car, and that is what they needed. So because of that, I think Chevrolet very well outdid themselves with this car, and it is an absolute performance bargain. So in saying that, this car was given to me by Steve Raymond Chevrolet. If you guys want to check it out, go to their website and you can see it, because without them I couldn't have done this video. So I'm incredibly thankful. Thank you, Steve Raymond Chevrolet. Thank you, DJ, for hooking this up. Couldn't have done this without you guys, and I really appreciate it. Whew. I'll see you guys next video. There you have it. This is America's sports car. Viper is no longer, hasn't been in a long time. This is what America brings to the table in the world of sports cars, and they have outdone themselves. Ford's got their 4GT, Chevrolet has their Corvette. I really want to see if Dodge is going to bring the Viper back, but until then, this is the most attainable performance exotic you can get for the money. At $94,000 MSRP, this thing is a steal of a car. Now, see if you can find one, because they're in such low production numbers and they're sold out pretty much everywhere, okay? So this is also going to be probably a future collectible, especially for certain VIN numbers, early production models, first production models of certain years, etc. This is Team's Corvette. This is America's sports car. This thing is amazing. So again, thank you to DJ here at Steve Raymond Chevrolet. Couldn't have done it without you, man. I really appreciate you letting me use this car. I'm blown away, okay? And again, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, please do if you like what you're seeing. Comment down below if there's anything you want to see me review in the future. And then on top of that, hit the bell in the upper right-hand corner. That way you get alerts every time I release a video. So in saying that, I'll see you guys next time.